What's good, everyone? My name is Sazarux, also known as Salih Fisher, and welcome to the Salih Fisher Show. If you guys haven't already done so, make sure to go and give the video a like, share the video for the algorithm, and subscribe for more content. Now, you guys might be asking a variety of questions to yourselves or in my DMs, which more than a couple of you guys already have for like a long time now, but we're going to go and address the elephant in the room first, so let's just get right into it. So, biggest question. Where have I been? And to answer that, it's pretty simple. I've been in the background. I've been trying to go get myself together on a much more personal setting. Reason being is because I realized as I've been trying to go and do my whole YouTube thing that I was starting to fall into old habits. So I started going to take a step back to try to get myself together. And then the most weirdest and most annoying thing happened. As I was trying to get myself together and then planning my all big epic return, it was happening. And then tragedy and L's started to happen. So I started going to have some financial issues, employment issues, and everything else. I'm not fired specifically. I'm not trying to go into great detail about it right now, but I'll probably go and get into more detail about that on the main channel for the Sazarux. So just know that I'm going through more than a couple hiccups with my financial situation. Something wrong with my bank and everything, and having to go and switch over to something else, and having to go on and redo everything that was originally planned, and just trying to go and catch up at this point. So besides that, and also trying to find some new employment so I can go on and keep stacking up on funding for the show specifically. Everything else has been more or less quiet, I guess, except for the other parts. The other parts is pretty much me just having more personal issues and me having to actually deal with said personal issues, because I don't know. When I'm having issues, I don't like to, stop to always having to address them. Like if it's going to be an ongoing thing. Like if it's an ongoing thing, I'm like, okay, screw it. Let me just fix this the best I can. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And just move on for the most part, because I don't like having problems constantly stopping me from becoming the best that I can possibly be, because I see it as a complete waste of time, especially if it's not going to fix itself after I've already done whatever I could and placed whatever I could and invested all my time and effort into actually getting it done. Because I don't want to go and get behind and then go and mess up things like this that actually matters to me. So that's that. And on the other half, there's also family issues I also had to deal with as well. So most recently, around on the 11th, I found out that my great-grandmother died. And my great-grandmother passed due to natural causes. It wasn't anything weird or bad or anything. She was just at that age. And I've been more or less just trying to go and take time out for myself for once, and trying to go and reflect on things and trying to reconnect with family, an old family that I really haven't been talking to so far for years. Very long time, in months. Problem is also with that is that I realized, I had to be reacquainted with the realization that some family is worth speaking to and reconnecting with. Some family is just simply not. It's just, it just is what it is. It's just always going to be a problem, because sometimes it's just that one person wants to go and compromise, while another person always wants to go and be hateful and bitter, or always want to try to go and create a problem with the other because they feel superior. And me, I know what my worth is. I know what my value is. I may not be rich. I may not be wealthy. I might not be wildly famous or any of these things yet. But there's a yet. It'll eventually happen if I keep aggressively hitting it. If I keep trying to go and work on it the best I can. Continue to keep cultivating whatever I need to go and get to that level to where I can be well off and I can be rich and I can go and start making a significant difference out here in the world, as well as even more so to myself and the people that follow me and actually depend on me to go and get things done for them, and also spread the message of positivity for them to go and keep moving forward. So that being said, totally different type of vibe of a video later on the Sazarux channel. I'll go in more depth with what exactly I'm talking about, so just going to stay tuned for that later on throughout the month. Next, though, there have been some other deaths as well inside of my family and such that I've also had to go and come to terms with, and also had to go and deal with. So this is more or less of me trying to cope with it, as well as also trying to, have some sense of reflection and understanding of like, okay, things have happened. I can't fix it. I just got to be there for the people there. Just try to go and be the rock that they can actually just, depend on, and just keep moving forward from there, and just hold it regardless of whatever I'm feeling back, so that things can get done, people can go and heal themselves, and then address whatever I got going on inside later on. So this is how I've been. I never really had like the grace of actually not being able to like go and not do that, because I don't have like any significant dependable people in my life that are anywhere similar to me in any real significant way, unfortunately. And that's okay. One day it might happen, or one day it might just never happen. Either way, I'm just here. I'm trying to make sure I get down to business, trying to make sure I'm there for the people that actually want me there, and trying to keep moving forward with life and go get this money. Now, the next issue that we're going to probably be having is a really interesting concept. An interesting concept to me is more or less the fact that I actually do have more than a couple friends and such, as well as people that I know personally, as well as indirectly, that have actually come to me for advice and help. Some people that I've actually worked with in the past, some people who would like to work with me and such, and some people who are just simply watching and lurking on each of my pieces of social media, each of the platforms I go on and do things on. Now, I have spoken about business a little bit here and there, like on certain videos, but I have not gone in like complete detail and breakdowns on every single thing of what exactly I know, because there's layers to it. There's certain precautions I'm going to have to take, and certain things I would like to go and break down in a better way, to where it's more so like a visual type of ordeal, rather than just, just doing this, just talking about it just like this, where you just have to like go from like word from mouth. So working on it. I started getting more acquainted to this thing called StreamYard, and with StreamYard, I do like it, but it keeps freezing my phone a bit. So I'm going to see what I can do to go invest into a new laptop, so I can start doing StreamYard on a much more professional and much more aggressive manner. So I can start having, actual video reactions at the same time, where you guys can actually see it on the screen as I'm actually doing things also on my phone or whatever camera I'm utilizing in the middle of the recording. That way we're watching the same thing at the same time, and also getting a complete visual at the exact same moments, not just you all guessing whatever I'm watching based off of audio, or just based off of whatever you guys hear in general. So I'm just trying to work on other things at the same time as trying to go and keep my head up and keep positive with everything else happening, financial issues and the family issues. However, with the strangeness of the people I do know, I need to go and talk about the fact that people that I know have been, well, more or less losing themselves with their jobs. And losing themselves with their jobs in the form that isn't really a great way to go about things. Like, whenever you do have a job, we all have our thing, we all have our situations, we all go and work our ways up, we all have to go and make sure that we're going to have food on the table and getting things done. However, there's a way that you go about doing it that doesn't necessarily equate to you losing yourself 100%, to where you eat, live, and breathe, and even bleed the job. You have to take time out for you. You have to take time out for yourself, so that you can actually maintain a sense of balance. Because that sense of balance is the only real thing that's keeping you as you, and not necessarily just another pawn for the job itself. Because anytime that we're ever working at these jobs, regardless of wherever we are, whenever you're trying to become like an overachiever, a star, or whatever, these jobs don't care about that. Not really. They care about it at face value, yeah, because you're showing some advanced skill set that everyone else isn't necessarily trying to go and do. Even if they do have it in them, they're not trying to release that dog at all, because a lot of the times they're just there just to go and collect the easy paycheck. Especially the job doesn't really necessarily care if you're there or not. Now, when they start trying to act all funny and stuff, whenever they see one person overachieving, then other people are not overachieving, then that's also most commonly irritating as well. Because now the common thing is that they're going to expect you to be doing the same things as these other people. So the overachiever is now the example that they want everyone else to go by, but everyone's situations is very different. and not everyone else is going to have the same significant sense of urgency to go and do exactly the same things as the overachiever. And then, even so, the overachiever still isn't safe because the overachiever can still go and get fired at any time whenever they've outlived their usefulness. If that person's taught everybody on what to do, what not to do, how to go and become the best star person ever for the job or the company or just that specific department in general, that's great. But that one overachiever will create like another 5 to 10 people, have a whole business model and everything based off of how they act, how they do things, their process, the way that they think, their technique and everything. And then if it's cost effective to go and get rid of them, to go and stop them from becoming a manager or stop them from potentially asking for a pay raise, they're going to do it because it saves money for the company. It's in the best interest for the company going to release you from the job. So to protect yourself, if you are an overachiever and if you are amazing in any way possible with your job, just make sure that you are getting the job done for you and whoever is living with you, whether it be kids, a girlfriend, family, or whatever you got. But just try not to go and lose yourself doing the jobs. Because at the end of the day, these jobs, regardless of how amazing they might be, are still owned by another person that's not you. And they don't care twice to go and save a buck off of you by getting rid of you at your most vulnerable of moments. Just saying. So, that's pretty much almost everything that we're going to be talking about, but there's also going to be some more stuff. So, you guys might also be aware of some of the things that we have to actually go and start doing, which is actually some of our topics for the late night show that I'm going to be doing, Late Night Chill with Sal. So, Late Night Chill with Sal is still going to be a thing. I just have to go and figure out like a better way on how to go and get the format going, because I wanted to go and play some more music with it. However, I don't want to get another copyright strike or anything like I did like in the past. So, I'm going to start working on that. I've also been working on more than a couple other smaller projects, as well as one bigger project that's actually brand new, but I'll probably be talking about that later on, also on the Sazarux channel later on. I'm probably just going to do like more bigger announcements and updates on that one instead, because on this one I want to just try to go and get like little stuff done, news, happenings, and everything else that we're pretty much cool and over with. But I did want to go and talk about relationships before we go as our last topic. So it's also to go with like the last topic that we just talked about. So a lot of the times when we're working and everything, we're getting down to business, we're getting things done if you're the breadwinner and all that. However, you need to understand something. The people that live with you and the people that you're doing it for inside your home do not always have your best interests in mind, especially if you're getting them, equated to you through whatever the value of your job actually is. So if you do want to make sure that you go and get the best version of yourself and the best version of whoever you're living with to go and both respect you and get things done while you're gone, so that whenever you do go and get off of work, you're not constantly killing yourself with the job and then have to go and overexhaust yourself even further, cleaning up your house, making your food or whatever. I'm going to see if we could try to go over potential strategies and some videos later on down the line to go and help make things a little bit easier for y'all. Because y'all that are overachievers and breadwinners but still have some sense and haven't lost yourselves with the job blindly and all that, y'all deserve a lot more than whatever y'all are getting. And I believe that we can go and do it. I believe in this community that we have, I believe that things are actually going to be pretty great and astounding. We just have to go and keep things rolling and keep things going aggressive, just like this, just like clockwork. So the relationship aspect is that if they don't necessarily respect the things that you're doing by at least just doing the little things while you're gone, while you're paying for everything, while you're taking care of business, paying the bills, making sure that they're still well protected, well fed, and everything else, at the same time as maintaining a job, like a good job, multiple jobs or whatever, it might just be time for you to go and bounce, because it's disrespectful to you as a person, and you don't really need that, to be perfectly honest. But we will talk about that more so later on because we're almost out of time. So if you guys haven't already done so, again, make sure to go and get a video a like, share the video, and subscribe for more content. My name is Salih Fisher, and I will see you guys later on. Also, make sure to go and check out the TikTok for new promo videos as well. But anyway, I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.